The Bitcoin bears are getting crazy. They've set up a massive $255 million salvo right above us. Is this your ticket to a crash towards $44,000? Or is this just a bear trap and we are about to make a new all-time high? Let's analyze.
My crypto paradise.
Hello ladies and gentlemen of the Paradise Club, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise, and today I have something critical that I want to share with you. Previously, together you and me, we have understood that Bitcoin will start to crash from $109,000, right? We have broke this channel, we have understood the price action development theory from Elliott, and we have started to crash. With the ParadiseTeam VIPs, we have been strategically positioning ourselves with entry at around $108,000, and then we have been taking profits at $98,000. Since then we have went with a price recovery, and right now we are right here. And you remember that from the previous video that I have shared with you 1 day ago, we have been understanding that we are creating probably a new impulse, and if we will start breaking from this triangle, we will start attacking this ascending trend line, and potentially we will start reclaiming. You know what's needed for reclaim, right? Break and retest. Let's have a look what happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. We have broken from this triangle, we have got a break of this ascending trend line, and right now it seems like we are retesting it. So can we hold this? Okay, can we hold this and start creating a new price action even higher, or is this it and this is just a fake out and we are about to go down? Well, we need to watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look what happened. We have got that breakout, and you know that for the breakout to be successful, we need a volume above average. So this is our moving average volume trend line, and take a look at the volume. So the volume was there, right? And then for what is important for successful reclaim is also the retest. Previously, this ascending trend line was working as a resistance. Take a look at this, all right? Resistance. After the breakout, it started to act as a support. One retest, and right now the most important, after some kind of consolidation, second retest. And now this is the time of decision making. Okay, can we hold this? Let's analyze. All right, you also know that we have been placing strategic trades with the ParadiseTeam VIPs as we always do, and we have been trying to scalp this move as well, because this was a high probability after the breakout of this triangle. Because take a look at this, break to the upside, nice volume, retest, that hold. We have got a confirmation with this candle. This was also a bullish hammer candlestick pattern. Bang. What we have done with the ParadiseTeam VIP scalping members is exactly this. After that, we have created a limit breaker, ladies and gentlemen, and we waited for a retest. Take a look at that. And just recently we have taken some profit. On Ethereum we have been doing something similar, but what's important right now is to understand what's gonna happen next. So for that, let's analyze some insider data, and then we will also take a look at the price action on our chart. So what is important to understand is definitely crypto trading sentiment, that we have special one on our website mycryptoparadise.com. Okay, take a look what's happening right now. We have been at the bottom right here. Previously we have been bottoming from this section, right here. Here we have been bottoming right here, and it seems like we are bottoming here from there as well right now. Take a look at that spike. Who is leading? Reddit seems to be very bullish, right? And we are not, like, from the crypto trading sentiment perspective, we are not extremely like crazy bulls right now, but take a look at what's going on our fear and greed index. We are getting the information, the data for the fear and greed index a little bit differently, and also this crypto trading sentiment we are only updating once per day. But take a look at the fear and greed index that I have set up for 4-hour time frame. All right, and you know that what's important right here is 2 point of controls, 20 and 80. All right, take a look at the 20 point of control. Previously right here it was a bottom. Take a look at the price of Bitcoin, $103,000. we have bottom to right here, and take a look once we have topped. Bitcoin right here was $108,000. all right, can you see that? And this was perfectly working as a top signal. And then there are another reasons why to trust this fear and greed index, and when you can nicely synergize it with the price action formation and the support and resistance levels that you are seeing on your chart, you can make a great and much better professional trading decisions, right? Not to take this as a clear trading strategy, like when it goes to 80 you immediately start to crazy shorting, and when it goes to 20 you immediately start FOMOing and buying extremely with high leverage. It doesn't work like this. This actually works only the way that it can increase the probabilities in your trading strategy that you are based on loads of data and based on loads of information that you are gathering from the markets before you make some trading decisions, before you pull the trigger, by the way, right? But what's important right now to understand is that we are consolidating around that 80 point, okay? So this is just adding to the probabilities of bears right now. Why don't want to be extremely bullish right here before I can see some kind of retracement, all right? Together with that, take a look what's going above us, what's going on above us right here. As you know, the whales are setting up a crazy sell wall right here. It can be spoofing, of course, but on the futures, this seems to be very dangerous. So with the ParadiseTeam, what we are doing, we are monitoring the sell walls, all right? If the price starts to reclaim it and it ends around $109,000, it's gonna be absorbed, all right? Or they will just delete it, right? They can remove the sell limit orders. There is another cluster right here. They tend to cooperate together, okay? So we are monitoring with the ParadiseTeam how the price action of Bitcoin will react to these levels, and based on that we will make some further decisions. But right now I'm not crazy bull. If you are crazy bullish right here, it's a mistake, okay? Because you should be waiting for confirmations. So because we have this kind of data that there is loads of sell limit orders right here, I don't plan to be crazy bull right here, right? Because it's not profitable, because as you can see below us there is almost nothing. So the risk reward opportunity is not on upside, it's on downside, right? Because you can place a tight stop loss and wide sell targets, but it doesn't mean that I'm selling here neither, all right? Because I need more confirmations. By the way, this is futures on spot. It's not visible right here, but at $109,000, okay, $109,000, there is also a huge sell wall, okay? So something to keep in mind. The futures and spot, when it's synergized together, that's a strong signal, okay? Let's take a look also at funding rates. We have a special kind on my Crypto Paradise. We have the accumulated one, and right now we are looking at the accumulated funding rates from 1 day perspective. And as you can see, if you really want to understand what the retail is doing, you need to take a look what's happening with the altcoins, right? If you want to know what the dump money versus smart money is doing, take a look at the funding rates of altcoins, because most of the retail, they want to get rich quick, right? And do they think that they will get rich quick with Bitcoin? Not anymore for some reason, right? They don't operate this way. They think that they buy some altcoin with huge amount of leverage and it will just go to the moon and they will go rich, and they will be showing on Twitter and on Instagram the new kind of things, the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, etc. How the influencers are brainwashing you with, right? So you go and buy their meme coins. So be careful about it. But you can actually use it in your own advantage. You can analyze what's going on with the altcoins and try to understand, okay, who is buying them right now? What's going on? The smart money or dump money? And always try to position yourself with the smart money, not the dump money, right? And right now you can see that the funding rates on loads of altcoins are getting very, very, very positive, okay? What does it mean? It basically means that there is more long positions than short positions, okay? So this is self-explanatory, I do believe. Let's take a look right now at the price action, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start with ultra high time frame. What do we have here? We do have here something very, very serious, okay? What's serious right here? This is MACD oscillator. As you can see, we are creating lower high. The price action, take a look at that, is creating higher high, all right? What does it mean? It's clear divergence, right? And as you know from our website, mycryptoparadise.com, and if you are educating for free, we have it for free, all created by the ParadiseTeam, by the professional traders for you, so you can get better at trading, and most importantly, at professional trading, okay? We have here what's going on. We have here bearish divergence. So price action is making higher high, but as you can see, indicator is making lower high. That is bearish divergence. What does it mean? That the bulls are losing momentum, ladies and gentlemen. And often when you also see the momentum really starting to decrease, not only lower high but also starting to decrease, this is starting to become a confirmation that the bears will be able to take over very soon. Confirmation, what do you want to see, is a cross, bearish cross of that MACD trend line together with that moving average MACD trend line, okay? Together with that, you definitely want to have more confirmations. So for example, stochastic RSI, you can see that we already have the bearish cross and we are also in an overbought area right here. Take a look what happened previously right here. We have got the bearish cross, ladies and gentlemen, and after that we have started to open the legs, and right here this was like confirmation that the trend, that the bearish trend is strong, that the momentum of bears is really good, and they basically use that in their favor, and we have crashed, right? And you know that we have been already telling you about the crash right here at these levels if you are subscribed in this channel. So right now something similar is cooking. This is early sign. It doesn't mean that we are going crazy short right now, that we are having 10x leverage, 5 short positions on Bitcoin. No, it just means be careful, be careful. This is all about like understanding the data, the probabilities, and then try to like navigate in this volatile sea of trading. All right, so this means be careful. Together with that, what's needed for confirmations is definitely RSI, and something bullish right now is happening instead on RSI because we are having a bullish reclaim, it seems. Okay, it's not confirmed just yet, but it's starting to be confirmed because we have this breakout of the moving average RSI trend line, and right now a retest. Okay, if this weekly candle will close like this above the 1.61 Fibonacci retracement level, it pretty much will be confirmed. Okay, and it will be for the bulls. It will be cheering for the bulls. Okay, because this would mean that we might go a bit further to the upside, probably to an overbought area. So it would still mean that the bulls are still having some kind of power, and I would not want to be aggressively shorting the market neither. So we are watching how the development is continuing, ladies and gentlemen. And another thing, we are watching the order flow and the price action development as well, right? So there is a possibility that if we will start crossing back below this 1.618 with Fibonacci retracement level, we will not need to go back to 121 or 135. Not back, actually, I mean, no, we will not need to create a new all-time high here or here, which is also a possibility in our idealized corrective wave, right? So we need to understand the price action, because if we are right now creating the first wave, we will know about it, because we will understand that the first wave, which can be a descending impulse, or it can be a leading diagonal. It cannot be ending diagonal because you can get that only in the 5th wave, all right, of an impulse, but it can be a leading diagonal that can be as a first wave of an impulse or an impulse itself, all right? So if we are able to understand the price action development on lower time frame, we can predict the future and we can get more probability, and based on that we can make much better trading decisions. So ladies and gentlemen, are we right now creating the first wave? Let's analyze, because if we are, we might start creating impulse that will take us towards $44,000. You know why this is very important level that needs to be retested before we can go towards $240,000, ladies and gentlemen. It may not be retested, but from the price action development that we are watching on Bitcoin since 2016, ladies and gentlemen, you know that we are around very long time. It's always the price action is being the same way. The volatility and the volume of these moves is basically changing, right? But the psychology of the people is always the same, right? Right now we have a bigger hertz, but it doesn't matter. The psychology is still the same. So the market behavior is reflecting the psychology of the retail, and that's always the same. It doesn't change. Like a human brain is not evolving that fast, all right? So basically it's always the same, and we can understand what's going to happen next with a higher probability if we can understand the psychology. So let's right now dive in inside of this first wave. possible first wave. Let's take a look at this inside a price action. So let's zoom in, and right now we are watching a daily time frame, high time frame chart. That means each candle is representing 24 hours trading activity. Okay, this candle is closing in 7 hours 27 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And why am I saying that is that if we are about to close this daily candle below this resistance line that we have been analyzing previously, and I have told you in the previous videos why this one and this one are extremely important, okay, it will indicate some bearishness. Together with that, it's also a newly created Fibonacci retracement level 618786, the most powerful ones, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, we are getting some kind of correction right now already, but it's also not a sign to be aggressively shorting right now, because we can see that we are also having the acting hidden bullish divergence. As you know from the previous video, right here we have been losing the bearish momentum. That is also why you are seeing the surge to the upside. And as you can see, the MACD is having a bullish cross, so definitely you want to be very careful. And before we can start shorting the market, we need more confirmations. All right, so one of the confirmation will be a daily candle below the resistance and below the Fibonacci retracement level as well, and then that will give us more ideas, more probability what can happen next, right? And you might ask why I do have a first, like number one right here. For that, let's analyze what's going on with this price action on a lower time frame, and let's understand why do I have these numbers right here. Because right now it seems that we are actually creating a leading diagonal. Okay, leading diagonal that if it's going to be successfully formed, it will indeed be this first wave. Ladies and gentlemen, let's calculate the subwaves and let's understand what's going on. What am I talking about, right? Descending leading diagonal, ladies and gentlemen. Descending leading diagonal can appear in the first wave of an impulse, all right? Because the first wave of an impulse is a motive mode wave, so it can be either an impulse itself or a leading diagonal, okay? So the leading diagonal and the impulse, both of them have their own rules, all right, what needs to be respected, and the rules that are needed for the leading diagonal are few. So first of all, the fourth wave is going in the price territory of the first and secondary wave, all right, and the fourth wave cannot exceed some kind of level. Which level? Well, as you can see right here, we do have two lines, right? One that is being a support, one that is being a resistance, right? And basically the leading diagonal is not formed just yet. As you can see, it's finishing with the fifth wave that always needs to exceed the third wave. It's not visible nicely on this picture, but the rule is that it cannot be truncated. What can be truncated is ending diagonal or an impulse, but leading diagonal never can be truncated. So first of all, where this fourth wave cannot go? Well, if we want to know where the fourth wave is gonna finish and what it cannot reclaim, we can analyze it the way that we connect the 2 points of the end of the third wave and the end of the first wave, all right? And we copy the slope, ladies and gentlemen, and we put it to the end of the secondary wave. And as you can see, this should be acting as a resistance, and as you can see, it is, right? So what cannot happen, and it would invalidate this bearishness that we are right now seeing on medium time frame, is reclaim of this descending trend line. We have been talking about the reclaim, right? You need a nice breakout to make sure that it's not fake out, because there is lots of fake out. So I don't want you to get wrecked, okay? Because lots of people are getting wrecked because of fake out. So what you need to know is a breakout with a volume above average. Then a reclaim means that you need to retest this previous resistance into support, and then on even lower time frame you want to be watching for a double bottom formation or some bullish candlestick pattern, and then you can say, all right, I will try a long, right, with a tight stop loss, nice sell targets. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we are getting rejected from here. What also needs to be intact on this descending trend line is that the first, third and fifth wave are motive mode waves, and the secondary and fourth one are corrective mode waves, alright? So the motive mode wave subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves. So this is the first wave, first motive mode wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's correct. A, B, C, zigzag, corrective mode wave right here. And then the third wave, alright? And here's gonna be, sometimes it's tricky. So this was a first wave, secondary wave right here, third wave, fourth wave, A, B, C, zigzag, and then a fifth wave, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah? And right now, as you know from the previous video, this, in my opinion, is a zigzag with an extended C. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is a successful formation of a leading diagonal, we are going to $93,000, all right? Why $93,000? Let's take a look at the Fibonacci retracement level that we are taking from the price action development of the first and secondary wave. Take a look, 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level, yeah? If basically this was a successful fourth wave, let's take a look at the price action, and you can see the synergizing, all right? 1.272, 1.618, all right? So this level, $93,000, also because it was a historic support from the previous price action right here, is going to be very important. And I do believe that if we are creating a leading diagonal, we will be crashing towards $93,000, ladies and gentlemen. Few confirmations needed, of course, for example, crossing below the moving average trend line, and then also the lower time frame price action development, which I will be leaving for a next video. Okay, I will be describing the lower time frame and what we need to see basically in the next video. Definitely what I'm waiting for is early sign of a creation of an impulsive fifth wave. That, as I already said, can be a leading and ending diagonal or an impulse itself. So I'm waiting for a successful first wave creation, okay, and then I will position with the ParadiseTeam probably on a secondary wave. But the secondary wave, how we get position, etc., I will explain in the next video, because there is a few things what you need to understand. That you need to firstly take a look what's going on at the macro scale, behind the scenes, etc., right? And then you need to understand the price action development of the secondary wave, and then you need to position yourself perfectly at a perfect entry, yeah? So something like that I want to see. This, if we will see a first successful wave, I will try to position on the secondary wave in this kind of anticipation that we will start crashing towards $93,000. Ladies and gentlemen, only highly probability trades. Make sure that you have your own trading strategy so you are not getting wrecked in this market. Have a great money and risk management, and I will see you again next time on Saturday. As you know, I'm basically recording 3 times a week for you on YouTube, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. It's all free. Smash the like button, and I will see you on Saturday. Cheers.
Feel the success.